I was like, holy fuck.
And he literally ran through every single one of those people with just his butcher knife.
And what it was a fucking ploy.
Yeah.
It was all a fucking...
A trick.
It was a trick.
Let me tell you how it's about to go. Let me show you the towel you're about to throw. This is hip-hop, try to run in our house, we'll knock your ass straight out the door. I'm the enemy's epitome, the fantasy, my tendency to mentally give your career the death penalty. I instantly advise you to match my intensity, try to fit my brain like Jackie Kennedy. I'm so tired of the why not side of putting MCs in a pine box. You motherfuckers couldn't even hit me in my blind.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Lostlegendstv. We are Reddit MC, and I'm Ray.
No, I'm James.
I'm not actually here, so James is going to take this whole video.
Alright, so we're going to talk about Ray's most favorite movie, like franchise of all time. And we're talking about the John Carpenter classic, Thanksgiving 5. It's an amazing movie. Wouldn't you agree, Ray?
Yeah. I couldn't hold that much longer.
I know.
Talking about Halloween fucking kills, man. Initial thoughts on it?
I liked it.
I loved it. Again, this is initial reaction. We've only seen the movie once. Yep. It's going to take a while to let it sink in, think about it. But overall, I think this is fucking awesome. Like
more watches, we might find some more stuff that we would like or we don't like or whatever. We're going to give you a review. It's going to be spoilers. So if you hadn't watched the movie, do not watch this review yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've seen like thousands of reviews by now. We're actually a day late, but yeah. Let's jump into it.
All right, so
First scene.
They take it back to 1978.
Which hasn't been done.
Basically, it's explaining other stuff that happened on that night that we might not have seen.
Fills in the gaps. Yeah, has never been answered.
Hawkins sees Mike Myers walking down the alley, tells him to stop. He doesn't stop. Shoots at him. He disappears.
Michael don't even flinch, by the way.
Doesn't even like sort of grimace or anything at it. So if he did hit him, he ain't act like he hit him.
He ain't worried about it.
People show up. They decide to split up. Hawkins and this dude, they go into the Michael Myers house. They give you a little bit of backstory that like Michael was young. Hawkins' partner would go over. He was sent over to Michael Myers' house to hang out with him because they felt bad for him, like the families and shit. And all he would ever do is he would just sit and look out this window. Dude's sitting there looking at the window, and then Myers comes out of nowhere. Starts putting him in a chokehold, choking him out with the rope. I don't remember where the rope came from. Hawkins comes up, tells him he's going to shoot.
And he does.
Shoots his partner in the neck.
Yeah, that ain't go as planned.
No.
Talk about the scene further. Again, this is the opening scene of the movie, right?
Yeah.
And I cannot praise them enough for the amount of detail they had on the old Myers house. Mm-hmm. Like, you remember that broken window?
Yeah.
That was a direct thing from the first movie where that hanging electrical thing hit it while Dr. Loomis was giving that infamous speech.
Oh, yeah.
I met him 6 years ago. The dead dog that went missing, they found in Myers' house.
Yep.
He got hungry. It's just, even the wallpaper and the closet they looked in is like dead fucking set, like almost frame by frame.
Not only that, after Hawkins has shot his partner and his partner's bleeding out and Michael Myers goes downstairs and out the front door, you hear Loomis.
Mm-hmm, in the background.
Loomis walks through the door. Now, obviously, it's not the original Dr. Loomis. This guy was on point.
This was like Donald Pleasant's number 2, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the way he limped when he walked, his voice, the way he looked, the way he grayed on the sides. I mean, it was...
Like, he looked a little bit bigger than Donald Pleasant.
He looked a little heavier.
Just a little bit. And then it literally just cuts to Michael standing out there with a bunch of cops around him. Title screen. And it's like an ode to the 1978 title screen. It's the pumpkin in the background and just credits on the side. Simple as that.
But these motherfuckers are burning.
Oh, yeah, the pumpkins were burning. I thought you were talking about like the credits or whatever. I don't remember that.
The theater was burning?
Yeah.
So we cut to the asshole from the first movie,
yeah,
Cameron, which is, I guess, now ex-boyfriend of Allison.
No, I think they're still technically together from that because they just had an argument. They never said they were done. So because he was trying to get back with her.
He's walking down the street. He's calling somebody, saying, "Hey, I fucked up with Allison."
He was calling his friend, the dude
The one that got fence.
Yes, he was calling him.
Yeah, he didn't.
Because his phone was ringing in his pocket. You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, his phone was ringing in his pocket. Oscar?
Oscar's his name.
Yeah. It was something like but he sees Hawkins in the ground and on the road. From what I remember from the original one, Hawkins was dead. He got his throat slit.
He got stabbed in the fucking neck.
Cameron run up to him like, bro, what are you doing? This dude's dead. He's like trying to apply pressure to this neck wound. Like, the fuck is this? And then fucking Hawkins just gets up like, all right, fine. I guess I'm the dumbass.
Yeah, because they didn't show that in the trailer. And I thought that was one character that would not return. Like, he was done.
Yeah, he was done.
But nope.
So he gets Hawkins, and Hawkins is like, he's got to die. And I'm going to have to be the one to do it.
And that's when we get to the bar scene, because I want to state, this is where you see Tommy Doyle. Mm-hmm. And to me in this movie, Anthony Michael Hall steals the show for me.
He's really good.
He was really fucking good.
We also didn't talk about this, but in the flashback part, Tommy and like Lonnie and like they were bullying Lonnie. Lonnie runs into Michael Myers. He fucking cowers. Myers just disappears. Flash forward to this bar scene, and they actually show the doctor and the nurse that were dressed up in the 2018 film. They're at this bar. I guess this is where they were going. And behind them is that four, and apparently they're just the best of friends now. I don't know if I could ever have been friends, but like they went through a lot of shit, so I guess they just kind of bonded over that.
This guy calls Tommy to the stage, and Tommy gives this story about what happened to him and what happened to the town and the other three victims, because this is the 40th anniversary, because this takes place on the same night as 2018. And that's when Lonnie gets a phone call from Cameron explaining what happened, because Cameron is Lonnie's son, which we find out in this film.
And then it cuts to Lori and Allison and Karen on the back of the truck. Lori's bleeding out from her stomach. They see the fire truck go by. Lori just yells for them to let it burn.
Burn, motherfucker.
They get to the hospital. They say Lori's going to be fine. The cops start like interviewing Karen and Allison, asking them what happened. They tell them everything. Meanwhile, we get the firefighters that appear at Lori's house.
Man.
One of them falls to the floor. And apparently, the way Michael had survived was there was this little, kind of like a garage door or whatever.
I think what that was, it was the door to like the gun, like where they kept the guns.
Yeah. And he hid behind that.
Yeah.
Place is on fire. He kills that dude. And then his partner comes over, asks him to give his hand. Michael grabs it. I guess he used it to get up.
And then, like, oh my God. And you seen this in the trailer. But to see this fucking play out the way it did, Michael coming out and burning flames, fucking slow motion.
And they literally went at this man one-on-one. Like, they could have, like, at least teamed up to put up some sort of fight. He put something to this dude's skull. It was like the tool he'd been using. I don't even know what the tool was.
Yeah, and that one was like a POV shot.
Yeah.
Of that shit coming at you, like through the helmet.
And he picked up somebody with the same thing. And then this one girl had the saw, like to cut cards open and shit. Mm-hmm. Try to use that. And he just flipped it around and sawed her down the side of her neck and shit. And ran through them. And apparently he killed 11 people.
Like it was nothing.
Then the police tell Allison and Karen that Michael Myers is still alive. They didn't tell Lori because Lori was in a coma. They fucking lose it. Allison's like, fuck, I'm going to look for Michael. Everybody's rounding up. They're going to go look for him. By now, the people at the bar have heard what's happening.
And Tommy's leading this, by the way. He's leading this mob throughout the town.
The doctor and the nurse are going to leave. Nurse gets in her car, and they had played something on the TV about how there was 2 people who had escaped mental people. The woman gets in the car, and she says Michael Myers is in her car. Freaks out, tells the man, by far my favorite part of the film, she's like, Michael Myers is in the car, go check. He's like, fuck that.
He's like, hell no.
He said he looks and he saw Michael Myers get out the car, then get back in the front seat or whatever. And Tommy Doyle comes up there to hit the car. Car crashes, and it's just it's the other guy.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't Michael.
Yeah.
Michael ain't gonna bitch away from that.
No.
But back to the bar scene before we move on. Julian made a cameo from the first one. Mm-hmm. That funny ass kid.
Yeah, he was on the news.
He was back, so that was cool to see.
He didn't really tell no jokes, but he was there. So Tommy's putting a bunch of people together. He's literally going around trying to find as much people as he can. Hey, we're going to go against Michael. Anybody who's willing to stand up and to put him down, let's do this. If you're not, you need to be in your house. After Michael leaves that one place, he just happens upon this couple.
It was Lori's neighbor.
Yeah.
Because they claimed that they was close enough to see the house burn.
And she's sitting there flying this damn drone. He's trying to pour wine and shit.
Trying to get him some.
Yeah. And
Nookie.
she flies her drone into this one area where their bathroom is, and it doesn't come back. It fell, so she thought she messed up. So he tries to fly, and it gets thrown back into the room, He goes to look in the bathroom, turns the light on. Michael literally just smashes the light out.
Yeah.
The moment he does it. He locks that door, locks another door between them. He's like, there's this big motherfucker in the bathroom. He's got a mask on and shit.
That's exactly what I said. He's like, babe, there's a big motherfucker in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Call the cops.
And like when he says call the cops, Michael just powers his way through this window area, grabs and starts pulling through there and like messing him up. And he's just shouting his wife's name or his girlfriend's name or whatever. And she's going to try to go through the back door. And she can't get this shit off, like the lock off. Turns around, Michael's just standing there. So she grabs a knife to like defend herself. And she literally just stands there with this fucking knife.
Yeah.
Michael looks at her, like, fuck it, I guess I'll give me a weapon. Grabs the light.
Yeah, it's like one of those long fluorescent light bulbs you see in like an office.
Grabs it, breaks it in half, and just walks to her. And she doesn't do anything but cower and cower and cower, and he stabs her in the throat. Then I guess he dragged her into the living room or whatever, and she's sitting there watching him just murder her husband. Basically, it's like he's checking knives. Well, no, it was still in the kitchen. It was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So he put him on top of the kitchen table, and he just grabs a knife and then stabs him in the back.
I don't want this one, goddammit.
Grabs another one. Stabs him in the back. Like 6 or 7 knives, and then finally he grabs one and just walks off.
Oh, also in that scene, you see where Michael has bandaged his hand up.
Yep.
That's a small detail, but I thought that was like a very important detail on how self-aware Michael like really is. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh fuck, I'm bleeding out. Let's do this. Let's get back to business. This movie wastes no time getting like straight to fucking action. It's back to back to back to back. We have Lindsay Wallace, Marion, the doctor, and the nurse. So they pull up to this playground. Lindsay gets out the car. Now, in this caravan, you have, again, Lindsay. You got Marion from the original, which was riding with Dr. Loomis, if you don't know who that is. The doctor and the nurse. They see these kids swinging on this playground.
And these kids had been at the Michael Myers house where this gay couple are living now. Mm-hmm. And they basically played a prank on them to get all their candy, and then they scared them off. When they scared them off, they scared them to the playground, which is where they were at. There was 3 of them, and one of them was wearing, I think they were all wearing
Season of the Witch Mask.
Season of the Witch Mask. But they didn't, 2 of them didn't have them on, one of them didn't.
And that's when Lindsay goes up to him and is like, what the hell are you doing here? You need to get home. Shit's going down. And these kids are just assholes.
They're playing it off like it's a joke.
And then there's this motherfucker playing peekaboo with us, hide and seek. Lindsay's like, well, what's he look like? He's like, this dude in the white mask.
Oh, there he is, over there.
Yeah. And that's when you see Michael behind the fucking car with a fucking knife and a bloody-ass mask in his hand.
Which was their friend who they were waiting on.
Which was cool because you see it from 2 angles. You see it from, like, Lindsay's POV, seeing him, like, down the road. And you also see it from, like, the car, him in the back windshield.
Yeah.
So shit's about to go down. He climbs on top of the fucking car. He does the iconic hand smasher thing through the window on Marion again. He eventually hops the fuck down because they're shooting at him through the roof and their windshield.
And then the dumbest thing that I saw in that whole section was, because Marion has a gun up front. The woman with the doctor, the couple or whatever, she had a gun because she said he did not shoot once, so she did. So Marion shoots at this glass to shoot at Michael. Blows the window on the door completely out of there. Then she hits the lock button.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that gonna do?
She ended up blowing out like all the windows.
Michael hops the fuck down.
Grabs her, trying to kill her. The nurse had got out of the car. So she's like, I don't know what she was doing in this moment. She's not in the car, not with the gun in her hand. And the doctor said, you know what, I'm gonna step up. And he's like, he gets her free. And then Michael comes around the other side and he's like standing out there in front of the door. Marion's like, this is for Dr. Loomis. And fires the gun and no bullets.
Doesn't go off. Which I thought was really, really cool to pay homage to Dr. Loomis in that aspect. And I was disappointed when she didn't capitalize. If you think about it, it makes it that much more powerful.
Yeah.
Because Loomis knew, even if he was here today, you're not going to stop Michael.
Yeah. Michael just destroys her. Now he's stabbing her. The doctor tries to choke Michael out. Michael literally flips around on this dude like it's nothing, takes his knife.
A stethoscope.
Yeah, he was choking him with a stethoscope. Michael turns around, stabs him off in the eye through the brain.
And he's doing that, and like Michael's like pinned down to his seat, and Michael just turns his fucking head like, motherfucker, please.
Like it's
stabs him in the fucking eye.
Then old girl pulls up and she starts shooting at Michael, and like he's basically in the back seat. No, he's in the front seat. He's in the front seat in the driver's seat, and she's shooting at him just blindly. And then she gets close, and he kicks the door, hits the gun while she's pulling the trigger, and makes it spin around and shoot herself in the face.
And this sounds like a lot, but this happens really fast in the movie. Mm-hmm. So, like, that last scene when she shot herself, I didn't see it coming. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Then, of course, Lindsay shows up and just smacks Michael with a bag of bricks.
Yeah.
And just, like, she's hitting him as much as she can, but, of course, Michael fights through it. She tries to take his mask off.
Didn't work.
He throws her down, though, long enough that she runs away and she hides. And, of course, that's where Tommy and them all pulled up to see it.
And by that time, Michael's gone.
And while this is going on, there's some stuff going on in the hospital. It's like Lori's awake and Karen's lying about
where Allison is,
about Michael being dead because she knows but Lori doesn't. Hawkins gets wheeled in there. Lori talks about how she feels about him. Tommy shows up. They see all the dead bodies and they're like literally like the doctor and the nurse are put on a fucking...
Not a carousel, but... it's the thing that spins around in the playground.
Puts them on it with the mask on. Hangs Marion up on the swing set with another mask on. All season the witch mask. They look and they find Lindsay. Take her to the hospital. This is where Tommy basically incites a riot.
And he causes fucking chaos.
Tells them evil's gotta die tonight. People are just losing their shit. Like, they're not listening to the sheriffs or nothing. They're just like, fuck it, we're gonna get this dude. Just so happens who shows up? The other mental patient. And they're like, that's Michael Myers.
That's Michael Myers.
And the only ones who actually know what Michael looks like were basically
Lori.
Yeah. And Karen.
Allison too. Because Allison saw him without the mask in the first one.
True. But they're like chasing this dude throughout this hospital the whole time.
I feel bad because like the motherfucker has like a big gash on his head.
Yeah.
And like you can tell he's not really self-aware of like his surroundings. He's like freaking the fuck out. He's all fidgety and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he don't mean harm.
No.
He's just scared.
And the whole scene is like with him, like it plays out over a lot of stuff. They go crazy because Lori had put like some medicine in her, like so she wouldn't feel as much pain. She gets up, she's dressed, like her. They're going out there to try to find Michael. Tommy says they see Michael. She's like, Michael? She calls out to him. Obviously, she ain't gonna get no response, but they finally see the guy, and they're like, that's not him.
Yeah, that's not him.
That's not him, bro.
And nobody's listening.
One doctor literally runs past Lori, basically knees her in the fucking stomach, puts her on the ground. So this other cop helps Karen put her back in her bed. Karen goes out trying to find that dude to help him. She's trying to tell everybody, look, that's not the guy. Eventually, she finds him. She tries to help him. She puts him in this little area, like between two like hospital doors, and like locks it. This little hallway.
This is so sad too, because this dude's scared to fucking death.
Oh yeah, and Karen like does not lock herself in there with him, and she's trying to tell him. She looks at Tommy and she's like, that's not him, and he says, that's not him. Like, and it's all like slow motion, and the dude grabs like a fire extinguisher like to protect himself because like they're sitting there trying to break it down. Basically, just says fuck it, breaks the window to the hospital and just jumps out the window, kills himself. And that's when everybody was like, oh, it's not him. Lori and Hawkins never leave the hospital. Lonnie has decided he's figured out that Michael's going to his house. Hawkins basically explained what happened with his whole situation to Lori, and they were basically talking about how he's just trying to get home. And that he's not really a human. They were just kind of like explaining his whole backstory for that. Lonnie is with Cameron and Allison, pulls up to the Myers house. Michael Myers had gotten into this house, which is with that gay couple, Little John and Big John, which is amazing.
Which I forgot too. That one guy's from Mad TV.
Yep, I think his name is Mike McDonald. Michael gets in there, stabs Big John in the fucking armpit, then just like pushes down in his eyes until his actual eyes pop out over Michael's thumbs and fall on the ground. Lil John comes in there. He sees Michael standing in the window. He's just like, Michael, you're home. And Michael stabs him. Like, off screen.
Yeah, I thought that kill, the off-screen kill, was very powerful. Because they did the same thing in Candyman. They do a pull-away window shot. And all you hear is like this horrid scream. Like, you know Michael's coming for him. And sometimes, like, if you leave a kill up to the imagination, that's more powerful than a fucking on-screen kill. And it had that effect on me. So in this car, you got Lonnie, you got his son Cameron, and you got Allison. Lonnie, like the true dad he is, he's like, son, Allison, I know it don't make a lot of sense for me to go in there by myself, but I'm asking you to stay here, which I would do the same thing.
Yeah, I get you.
Throughout the movie, they like poke fun at Lonnie. He's the only one who ever went into the Myers house. Right before he actually goes in the house, he's like, I lied. I never went in. I never had the balls.
Yeah.
He has to mentally and physically confront this, which I thought was a subplot that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like a throwback to 78. But he walks in, 5 seconds later, you hear a gunshot. Cameron and Alex are like, oh, fuck, let's go. Get in, the lights are off, they're on the bottom floor. They see this closet door cracked open. They open it. They see this pumpkin. They freak the fuck out. They shoot it. They hear creaking up the stairs. They go upstairs.
They hear music.
This
was a very touching scene, actually. So Lil Jon, who had been stabbed, he went and played a song. I guess it was like him and Big John's song or whatever. He played this song while he'd pulled Big John next to him, and he's there holding him. They're both dying. Well, he's dying. Yeah. Big John's already dead. And that's what they walk into. And she like pulls the knife out of Lil Jon and just looks at him. And then Cameron looks in another room, and bam, he sees the fucking like a little cabinet area.
It was a closet.
It was like a closet,
a
wood closet. But like it was one of those like you slide the door or whatever. And he creeps up to it, and I'm like, honestly, I'm like, bro, just go.
Yeah, don't.
You know he's there. Where else would he be? Blood starts dripping down on him, and just his dad.
His dad is like shoved in a fucking attic.
Like crazy. Like the blood is coming down on him. When he freaks out, the moment he does, Michael charges at him.
Gave Cameron that fucking work.
Yeah,
man.
and Allison comes up trying to defend him, stabs him several times in the stomach. He just tosses her ass down the stairs.
Breaks a leg.
And she cannot come up here to help Cameron. Cameron's getting his ass whooped, and she's like, come kill me, motherfucker. Come kill me.
Michael's like, all right, I'm on my way.
And on his way down, just snapped Cameron's neck. Yeah. Like Cameron was in between the railing of the stairs. And he just stopped, looked at Cameron, snapped his neck.
It's one of those things like he was in really bad shape, but he might have could have survived that.
Yeah.
But Michael's like, surprise, bitch. Yeah. I ain't letting you have that. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy and Karen were basically trying to figure out how to find Allison. She's mad, but she's like, I can't like linger on this. I need a car. Tommy's like, you know what? I got a car. Cut back to Allison, trying to fight back against Michael, but to no avail. And she's like, just do it. Do it. Then she looks to the left, she says, do it again. And here comes Karen with a pitchfork. She stabs Michael in the back.
Yep.
Stabs him again, pushes him to the ground, stomps on his head a couple times.
Michael goes down.
Down for at least a second. Then she takes his mask off, walks to the door, tells him to chase her. Come on, you want your mask back? Chases her.
And to see fucking James U. Courtney. These are my favorite scenes of James U. Courtney. Yeah. Like, they got some badass Michael scenes, but you see Michael as Michael in here. Like,
no
without
mask.
the mask, no mask.
I mean, you can't see his face. They're like literally like shooting it at angles where you cannot see his actual face.
But you see, like, he's got the fucking walk down pat, and he's got the moves down pat, and to see him, like, without the mask, you realize just Michael is fucking Michael with or without the mask.
Yeah. So he chases down Karen, and he's looking, finding her, and then, like, she turns a corner, and he comes out, and there's a road, and his mask is just laying in the middle of the road. He gets to his mask, lights come on.
My fucking heart started racing right here.
Karen's like, gotcha.
I got you again, bitch.
And there's just a bunch of people. Tommy, all these other people, they get out with weapons.
Oh, man.
And they're like, the sheriff.
The old Sheriff Brackett, that's who it was.
And it was like, his daughter is the one who died in the first one.
Annie. He's like, hi, Michael. That has to be powerful for him to say, hi, Michael.
And he's like, everyone, it's Halloween, and everyone gets their chance for a scare. And like they're all surrounding him with all these different types of weapons. And Michael, again, no mask.
He's just fucking looking at him.
And he said, I'll let you do this part, because you said love this.
I want you to fucking envision this if you haven't seen this. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. This cinematic scene, like, Michael has this fucking evil-ass look in his eye. His fucking face is covered in blood. He looks to the left, like, because you can only see, like, a part of his face, like, zoomed in. Mm. He looks to the left. He looks to the right. And this fucking orchestrated version of the Halloween theme comes on. And Michael's just like, fuck it. Let's fucking go. Picks his mask up, looks to the left, looks to the right, grabs his fucking knife. He's like, let's go. So they go at it.
and they beat the absolute shit out of Michael.
I was like, this is about to be fucking dope.
They they hit him with a bat. One person came in to shoot him, and he slit their wrist, like deep, and they switched the gun to the other hand, shot him like 3 or 4 times, then hit him with a bat, hit him with a hockey stick, kept hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, put his ass on the ground. Like, he's on the ground, he's like kind of like twitching.
This literally had me on the edge of my seat together.
Tommy tells Karen, look, go be with your daughter. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta do this. She grabs the knife that Michael's trying to reach for, stabs him in the back, like right up on the spine, like up top. And that's the only move she does to Michael. And then she goes to be with her daughter.
And then Michael is just lifeless in the street. He's just done.
They cut back to like a talking point between Hawkins and Laurie, talking about how he's like, violence isn't going to be what's going to be the end of him. And like right after they say that, Michael like just flips this motherfucking switch.
Yeah.
Grabs his knife, stabs somebody. Count him.
It was the fucking Sheriff Brackett.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
And he literally ran through every single one of those people with just his butcher knife.
And what it was a fucking ploy.
Yeah.
It was all a fucking...
a trick.
It was a trick. It was a dog and pony show.
Yeah.
He acted like he was getting his ass whooped. That way, when people started to fucking disperse, he got the back. Like I said, fucking Brackett goes out with a fucking neck slash. And this hurt me, I ain't gonna lie. As much as I love this scene at the very end of Michael slashing through this fucking crowd of people, like he truly could, he kills Tommy. He stabs Tommy, and it hurt me to death to see Tommy go. Not only because he's probably my favorite character in the movie, but the reaction Tommy had when he died. Like, the facial expressions, like, he was fucking terrified, and he was disappointed, and knew he failed, and he fell to the ground. And then, Michael grabs old Huckleberry, which is the baseball bat, finishes him off.
And then it cuts back, like, while this is happening, it keeps cutting back to Karen and Allison. And Karen looks up at the window. She sees what she thinks is Michael. She goes in the house. She goes in the room. And she looks
Kid Michael.
The kid Michael. So she goes up there. She stares through the window. And you're still seeing, like, all the shit. And, like, Laurie and Hawkins are still talking about, like, Michael.
Because they're still in the hospital.
Out of nowhere, when she's looking at the window, here comes Michael behind her. And he slashes at her, stabs her in the hand, all this other stuff. Puts her ass down. He kills Karen. And literally... as that's happening, you cuts to like Laurie's face, just her face, just like shocked, back and forth, and like you just see Karen dead, and then it flash back to Michael just staring out the window. Credits.
Now, what makes that, and this is going to be the argument, I know it is, of how people don't like the ending, because we asked our friend Skylar, who's been on the channel. We also know some other people didn't like the ending.
To be fair, Skylar didn't like the ending because he didn't like the fact that all Karen did was just stab Michael once in like the back or whatever.
Didn't double tap him.
Do something, like I said the same thing when she like stabbed him with the pitchfork and then sticked him on the head. Kill him now. Take the shotgun, blow his brains out, something.
The reason I like this ending so much, and I think it's one of the truest endings I've ever seen in cinema. I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can because I have a hard time explaining it to myself. 1978 Halloween, right? Don't think about Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, fucking Resurrection, Rob Zombies. Let's just take 1978 and 2018 and this movie, right?
Yeah.
If you looked at that aspect of how mysterious Michael is, what made him snap at 6 years old, and how they explain in the movie that all he does is look out the window, but maybe he's not looking out, maybe he's just looking in on himself for some reason.
Like he's staring at his own reflection.
And one day he just killed his fucking sister. Okay, the end of the movie, what happens? Karen walks into Judith's room, Michael's there, and kills Karen the same way that Judith dies. That's what throwback of the kid Michael in the reflection as well. Because it goes back to the mystique atmosphere of Michael Myers, what he is, what he represents, the anger, the evil, just the fucking mystery. All he wants to do is wreak havoc and go home. I think no other movie, no other sequel has capitalized on that one thought. Like even the 78 flashbacks, whoever played, I can't remember his name in the credits, young Michael, played it that way. What I like about this movie so much is they just keep that original fucking baseline. They expand on it. Like, this is Michael fucking Myers. The mysterious Michael Myers. But he's fucking unstoppable. I mean, you cut his head off, he's done. But so let's talk about the things we didn't like.
I felt at one point it was dragging. But that was like closer towards the end, before they got to the fight scene, before Karen shows up to save Allison. It just kind of felt like it was dragging at that point. I'm like, okay, there's not much time left in this movie.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
What is about to happen? And it just kind of felt like they were lingering too much on this. I could have done without the other mental patient thing. Really didn't need it. It didn't really benefit. And other than the aspect to show the people go crazy when like they're, told like they should form for one cause. Sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing. Like in this movie, they literally started rioting. Like
they killed the wrong person.
They made him kill himself.
Same thing.
And they were basically cheering for his death until, like, from the inside of the hospital, when he jumped out, they were cheering until they went outside and found out it wasn't Michael. Other than that, it wasn't a lot that I was just, like, displeased with.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot I didn't like. One thing I told you earlier was the dialogue. And that kind of plays out what you're saying. We go through these spells of, like, really, really good fucking kills and action moments with Michael. And then we cut back to the original characters talking about evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. Go back to Michael, these evil fucking methodic-ass, brutal-ass kills. We go back to, hey, evil has to die. And that goes on like a loop. You know what I'm saying?
And I get it. He's telling different people. It just felt like it was dragging at that point.
Other than that, like I said, I mean, we only watched it once. I can't really think of any other thing I didn't like about the movie.
Did you like this one better or Halloween 2018?
I knew he was going to ask me that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think it's so hard to do with this context, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think 2018 was the perfect follow-up. I think this is the perfect follow-up for 2018.
Yeah.
Because, again, in this movie, I'm not sure if we mentioned it. I don't think we did. They make you believe, even in their dialogue, like, Lori, this isn't about you anymore. This isn't your story. And I like that. This is about a town coming together.
Yeah.
Because they've been fucking petrified, scared to go out fucking side. This legend of Michael Myers, he just came back. Not only do you have to relive that, your fucking kids, your fucking grandkids have to endure this now. So which one do I like more? I'm going to have to watch it a few more times.
What would you rate this movie?
As a return, 2018. As a sequel, this one.
What would you rate this movie?
I'm going to give this 8 out of 10.
I'll give it like a 7.7 out of 10. I really like it.
Another thing that I like about this movie, well, I think a lot of people won't, it's a really big roller coaster of emotions. Like, you have fucking sad scenes, you'll have comedy, and then you see Michael just fucking going ham. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then it just goes like that. Do I think that's a bad thing? No, because I feel like that would be exactly what would happen in a moment of chaos.
Yeah.
It's not all just chaos. Which also, I told you in the theater, they showed clips from Halloween 2. Which is not canon in this movie for Andy Brackett. But it's been confirmed Ben Tramer got that ass. That's Karen's dad.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I thought it was a really good fucking movie. I would watch it time and time again.
Tell us what y'all thought about it. Obviously, we're giving it high praise. Tell us what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. I've seen some people say that it didn't really further the franchise. Tell us if you agree with that or not. Ray doesn't really agree with it.
Here's my argument about that, all right?
Okay.
Just go on record. I understand why people can say, like, this didn't further the franchise of Michael Myers. And that could be true. I mean, I can't argue the fact that this is just Michael, you have Laurie again. It's just like a repetitive thing of the first one. But this is the only one besides really Halloween 4. And Halloween 4 really focused on Jamie. This isn't about Michael anymore. This isn't about Michael and Laurie. This is about Haddonfield coming together. I feel like it told that story well. People to say that this didn't further the franchise for Michael, sure. Did this further the Halloween franchise? Yeah. There's other aspects of Halloween to explore other than Michael and Laurie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that. Let us know what y'all thought about it. Tell us if you think we're dumb for liking the movie. Let's talk about it. Put it in the comments. Really appreciate y'all watching this. I really hope y'all watched it. We got some other horror movie stuff that's coming up in the future and stuff that I'm really excited to see, like Scream 5. When that stuff comes out, we will definitely review it. Until next time.
Adios.
On the couch like damn, what a slam. Then it's back to you, grouches. My crew just might roll on you like